Hi everyone, welcome to the session on Telangana Management Quota Counseling for NEET PG 2023. We would be taking you through the entire eligibility details, the application for the counseling, the rules of choice filling, certificates required, and the allotment rules, joining, exit, and upgradation rules, etc. in this session. Note that this is based on 2022 information that we have as of now. The 2023 prospectus will be up. Last year there were quite a few changes after the state round 2 joining rule was joint candidates being ineligible for further rounds was notified and the Supreme by the MCC after the Supreme Court judgment. So a majority of the changes have been done through amendments over the last year. We don't expect many changes this year, but we'll take you through the management quota counseling rules as of 2022. Any changes will still come back for ZyNerd subscribers. You will have that in the info guide as well. And Telangana basically has two counselings. One is the government quota counseling, which is usually for government quota seats, government institute seats, and the CAT A seats, which are at a lower fee structure. Then you have the CAT B and CAT C seats. If you're not from Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, you will not be these CAT A, CAT B, CAT C terms may not be the right reference. All you need to know is there is something called CAT B, CAT C. We will also take you through how they are represented in the choice filling as well as in the allotments, etc., that you need to refer to. And when you are applying, you will also know which category you will belong to. So as far as CAT A seats go, they come under government quota counseling. CAT B and CAT C seats come under management quota counseling. Both are separate counselings. Basically, government quota is a separate counseling with a separate prospectus, a separate choice filling and separate form filling, application, submission, choice filling and joining. And management quota is a separate process with a separate prospectus, choice filling, allotment, and joining. So basically, you will be attending two separate counselings if you are willing to go for government quota and management quota. If you are a candidate who is not an MBBS from Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, or if you are not a and if you're not a local as per non-local as per Telangana guidelines, like based on residence, your spouse being a local, or based on your parents being employed there or a resident there, then you would be coming only, you will be eligible only for the CAT B or CAT C seats, which are of which NRI seats are there. So basically, you belong to a state, like for example, let us say you belong to Uttar Pradesh, no relation to Telangana at all, either through MBBS or domicile or spouse being from Telangana, etc., or parents being resident or employed there. You will be eligible only for this counseling, which is the management quota counseling. We will also take you through the fee structure and what CAT A, CAT B is. Which seats come under the management quota counseling? 50% of seats under the Telangana private institutes come under management quota counseling. These are under CAT B or CAT C. What is the percentile qualification? It is pretty straightforward. OBC, you have UR category, which has 50, or EWS category, which has 50 percentile as the criteria. UR PWD, which is 45 percentile as the criteria. And you have BCA, ST category candidates for whom 40 percentile is the criteria for eligibility for these seats. Note that if you are a BCA, BCB, BCC, BCD, BCE candidate from the state of Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, your eligibility is 40 percentile. If you are above 50 percentile, no issues. You can apply as UR, or you don't even need to give your category. If you are 40 to 50 percentile and belong to any of these BCA to BCE or SC/ST, you will be eligible because you are above 40 percentile. So if you are 40 to 50 percentile, BCA, BCB, you can apply, but note that there is no reservation in management quota. There is no reservation. You become eligible for the seats because you are above 40-50 percent. No other advantage other than the eligibility in terms of seats reserved for these categories. All seats are UR. An usual question that comes up is, I am from a different state. Should I apply as BCA, BCB because will I get some benefit? If you are from a different state, first of all, you will not be able to get an BCA, BCB certificate from Andhra, and therefore this 40 percentile is not relevant for you. You will be eligible only under UR category because you are not a domicile of Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, and therefore if you are above 50 percent, select UR and go ahead. There is no confusion in that because all seats are UR. There is no categorization of seats. Only difference is lower percentile is for AP Telangana for eligibility purposes. And how are the seats split? The seats are split into CAT B, CAT C. Now for our purposes, because the choice filling happens based on the MQ categorization or the subcategory within Cat B or Cat C, it is better to understand it from a subcategory perspective. MQ1, MQ2 and MQ3 are the subcategories. We said when there are 100 seats, 50 of them would come under the management quota, right? Among the 50, 25 of them, 25% of the total seats come under MQ1. Everybody is eligible for MQ1 seats. So basically for clinical MQ1 seats, all candidates across India are eligible for MQ1 seats. Then for MQ2 seats, NRI candidates are eligible for MQ2 seats. This is too on an all India basis. There is no Telangana domicile or AP domicile requirement or Telangana MBBS, AP MBBS. Every candidate across India is eligible, but you have to fall under the NRI sponsored or foreign students criteria. And MQ3, you can even OCAs are included in that. MQ3 is institutional preference, where candidates are sponsored by institutes. This is 10% of total seats. Out of 100 seats, 10 seats come under MQ3, where candidates are sponsored by institutes who have completed MBBS or BDS in that particular institute. Let us say you have completed MBBS or BDS in a private institute. You will be eligible for this institutional preference seats, which might be 10% of the total seats. You have to get a sponsorship letter from the institute for this, and based on your sponsorship letter, you have to be allotted. There are two other criteria which are also there for MQ3 institutional preference. You can be, if you are the son or a daughter of employees working in that institution, there is a 6 months criteria, I believe. You can check with the institution. Then you will be eligible for institutional preference category. Or if you are employed in that particular institution, minimum 6 months I think is the criteria, so you will be eligible. So either you are a son or a daughter of an employee, or you are employed there, or you did your MBBS or MBBS in that particular institution, then you will be eligible. For PG it is medical, it is MBBS. Now these are the 3 sets of seats that are available under management quota in Telangana. Everybody is eligible for MQ1. We clearly know that. Every NRI candidate is eligible for MQ2. What is NRI? We will come to that. Rest MQ3, if you are not part of this criteria, you can ignore. Now we come to the fee structure, which is a very, very critical thing as far as Telangana management quota seats are concerned. Currently, there is a Supreme Court, there is a case against the regulated fee structure prescribed by Telangana. What Telangana did is, they went ahead in 2022 and the fee regulatory committee prescribed a fee structure of 23 to 24 lakhs for clinicals, 5.3 to 7.5 lakhs for paraclinicals. Depending on institute, this varies, and course this varies. Depending on institute, this varies. Pre-clinicals at 1.7 to 2.2 lakhs. And for category C seats, which are MQ2 and MQ3, category C is MQ2, MQ3. For your understanding, it is only MQ2. If you don't belong to MQ3, this is 3 times, up to 3 times. Like the institute can opt to get less than 3 times, but that usually doesn't happen. Up to 3 times is what NRI fee structure is. Basically 69 lakhs to 72 lakhs for clinicals, and you can see the rest as well. This is what was prescribed in 2020 by the Telangana Fee Regulatory Committee. Candidates went to court against this enormous 500% plus increase in fee structure. It was a huge increase for certain set of seats. So 5 times the seat or 4 times the fee, 5 times the fee or 4 times the fee was increased. So there was a temporary order within 2-3 days, within a week or 8-9 days. The court had to decide on what to do because the counseling was approaching during the COVID period, and the court had decided to go ahead asking the candidates to pay 60% of the fee for category B seats. For category C, there is no reference. For category B, Sorry, I think there was a technical issue. We are continuing again. So we mentioned that MQ3 are candidates who sponsored by institutes who belong to three different categories, like they have done their MBBS or they are employed in that particular institution in their medical college, or their sons or daughters of those who are employed in that medical college for 6+ months. Now, these two sets, NRI and MQ3, have the same fee structure and they are categorized as category C. This is not very relevant. This is only a geo based relevance. As far as the choice filling goes, you will have MQ2 seats if you will have MQ2 category to fill if you are an NRI candidate. If you are an all India basis candidate, you will have MQ1 seats to fill. In case you are an NRI, you will also be eligible for MQ1 seats in case you want to apply for MQ1 seats. So you will see these set of seats, MQ1, MQ2. If you are eligible for institutional preference, you directly get a sponsorship letter. So that is a completely different process. So we will be covering basically this major set of MQ1 and MQ2 in this session. Now, clinical seats there is a fee structure related issue as far as Telangana goes. This is why the fee structure is not present for Telangana management quota seats in ZyNerd as of now. We have not provided the fee structure for Tamil Nadu and Telangana for one reason, along with the stipend too, for one reason. There are issues with respect to the fee structure. There are court cases on. So we wanted, especially on a higher range, so we wanted candidates to connect with us. Many have connected with us and we have clarified that. We will also clarify that over this session. In 2020, the Telangana Fee Regulatory Committee came up with a revised fee structure for Cat A, Cat B and Cat C seats. Cat A is government seats, leave that alone now. We'll look at Cat B. Clinical seats were pegged at 23 to 24 lakhs per annum fee structure. What does that mean? What did that mean for the candidates? It was a 4 to 5 time rise in the fee structure from 2019. This was taken up by candidates and they petitioned in the High Court, and High Court had a week or so to decide on this case with very limited timeline, and the government the Telangana Fee Regulatory Committee not providing them much information on why the fee structure has increased and what was the logic behind it. There was a clash actually, and the High Court finally decided, the division bench decided to ask candidates to pay 60% of this fee of 23 to 24 lakhs currently when they join at the time of admission, and provide an agreement or a bond saying that the rest 40%, I know that there is a court case going on, and subject to the decision of the court case, I will be paying the rest 40% or whatever amount the court decides below that finally. So the amount will not go beyond 23 to 24 lakhs for clinicals in private institutes for MQ1. Currently, candidates Cat B who are taking Cat B seats are paying 13.8 lakhs to 14.4 lakhs depending upon the institute, which is 60%. They will also sign an affidavit saying the remaining 9 lakhs to 9 lakhs or so, I will, based on the High Court decision on whether it is going to be additional 23 lakhs or they decide it to be 13.4 or 14.4 or only 5, 15, 16, 18, whatever they decide, the balance amount I agree to pay up to a maximum of 40%, which can be only 9 lakhs or so, that I agree to pay at the end of the admissions. The first batch is passing out only this year, 2023. So decision might need to be taken now. As of now, they are paying only 13.8 to 14.4 lakhs. And the court has not taken up this case after that date. It is usual that in Telangana or AP, when the candidates come out, institutes create or the candidates start looking at a resolution, and then it will be taken up by court. Hopefully we get some information, but it is highly unlikely, so we'll have to wait for that. The second part is this was revised 3 years back. So currently there should be a fee regulatory committee which probably may propose a revised fee. We will have to look at that. If that is rational, then that also provides a solution. We will have to look at that. The fee for Cat B, which is MQ1, which is on an all India basis, the regular management quota seats is 23 to 24 for clinicals. Paraclinicals and pre-clinicals, you can check. This is based on institute. There is a minor variation. Similarly, for MQ2 or NRI seats, it is max of 3 times the fee that is prescribed for category B seats, which is MQ1. So you see 3 times is a maximum. So clinicals are from 69 to 72 lakhs. For Cat B seats, which is MQ2, and even if you take MQ3 from an institutional level, you will be able to get those seats. Note that in certain in the Muslim minority medical colleges like Shadan and Deccan, I think. So they and possibly just check if there are any other the third medical college which is offering MDMS seats this year. I'm not sure if it is. MQ1 and MQ2 NRI seats in Muslim minority colleges will be allotted only for Muslim minority candidates belonging to any state. For this MQ1, you can belong to any state. If you belong to any state and you are a Muslim minority candidate, you will be eligible for these seats in round 1 and round 2. Only in mop-up, the conversion happens. In case no Muslim minority candidates are allotted, available, then those seats are converted to regular management and are allotted on an all India basis for all in these institutes. So basically, you will pay 13.8 to 14.4 lakhs for clinicals in MQ1 category. You will submit an affidavit saying the rest 50% subject to the balance 50% shall be paid depending upon the further orders of the Honorable High Court of Telangana. And NRI quota, what is the eligibility criteria? Candidate should be NRI, or candidate's blood relative has to be NRI. Now there is a definition provided for blood relative in the prospectus and in the notifications. Father, mother, brother, sister, or uncle or aunt is what is provided. There is a minor difference with respect to what All India provides, where your grandfather, grandmother, and your maternal cousins are included. How that works out, we are not sure. We are not sure if anybody was joined with who have been approved with the other two categories that we mentioned. But as far as the prospectus goes, this is what is mentioned. Documents to be uploaded: NRI declaration form or the sponsorship certificate. This is the format is also available. So this is the declaration form or the sponsorship certificate. You need to get this form done, and NRI status of the financial supporter. This is the embassy certificate usually, which is from the seal with the seal and signature from the embassy. Copy of the NRI account passbook and the copy of the passport of the NRI of financial supporter. Only these are mentioned as required documents as of now. If you apply with these, your NRI application should be accepted. You should be eligible for MQ 2 seats over here. Also note that if you are eligible for MQ2, you can also apply for MQ1 seats. There is no, there are certain states which do not allow this, but Telangana allows. Application notifications: Telangana government quota, management quota. You go into Dr. YSR University. This is a new website. Dr. NTRUHS has been, the name has been changed to Dr. YSR with the change in the website. So you go to this portal for all notifications and application and login. They usually share this. I'm not sure if this website is also going to be changed. In any case, for subscribers in ZyNerd, you have the notifications in the announcements page, or you go to the counselings and click on the counseling name. You will get all the website, the application login, the prospectus, everything is available as links. Simple. At any point in time, you will be able to do that. We will update these links when 2023 links are updated. You register with your basic details, basically your NEET PG roll number, the caste category in case it is relevant, the PWD status, email, mobile number, etc. PWD is not relevant over here, and after the OTP is received, get the login ID and send through email, and upload your photograph and personal details, MBBS NEET PG details. Note that you have to upload your passport size photograph and specimen signature, and the documents have to be uploaded as PDF. These two are in JPG format. The entire process is online, and no forms or documents need to be sent. What are the documents that are required for application? This is a query that some of you might have shared in the comment. Documents that are required at the time of application, whatever is required is mentioned as PDF over here, other than the signature and passport size photo. You need your NEET PG scorecard at the time of application, and your date of birth proof. Usually your SSLC certificate is accepted, and MBBS degree or provisional certificate. Study certificate is required. What is a study certificate? Usually a study certificate is one which mentions that you have done your MBBS in this institution from this year to this year, and you completed in this particular year and passed out in this year. But note that in case you don't have a study certificate as such, a bona fide certificate mentioning the same details, or a certificate mentioning your first year, second year, third year, complete marks, etc., where you have studied, etc., is also fine. Study certificate is given in different formats in different institutions. Don't need to worry about it. It is just to authenticate that you have studied in that institute, you have studied MBBS in that institute, and your roll number or something is mentioned as far as your entire for authenticating that you have studied in that institute and the pass out year. And transfer certificate is internship completion certificate, valid medical registration certificate from the state medical council, any state medical council or NMC, and category certificate is required. Category certificate, like we are emphasizing, for management quota, only if you are 40 to 50 percentile for getting eligibility, an AP Telangana category certificate will be relevant. Otherwise, just apply as general, because all seats are general or UR seats. If you're not from Telangana, anyways, that is not relevant. You are anyways you are. Minority certificate, if you are eligible for minority seats, Aadhaar card or PAN card. Aadhaar card is what has been mentioned in the website for upload, and NRI candidates should mention the certificates as prescribed under the NRI quota. If you are sponsored, then you need to also include your sponsorship certificate. The sponsorship certificate will be from the institute which is sponsoring you. This is for MQ3 only, and these are required to be uploaded. For upload, there are other certificates which are mentioned as not required over here, but those certificates in original may be required at the time of joining, only during admissions. So get hold of those certificates too, in case you're migrating from another institute. Just around the time of application, you can start looking at the migration certificate, but there might be some flexibility. Don't need to worry about some of these certificates. There will be flexibility, even though it is mentioned. Now we come to the most important part of Telangana roundwise rules. There are certain differences compared to the previous years in Telangana management rules. There were amendments, especially to ensure that the state round 2 joint candidates rule is implemented, and it is a strong rule, basically with a very harsh penalty, and certain rules which are not clearly specified, but based on data we have seen that this is how the rule is implemented. So be very clear about these rules. One time registration usually for Telangana. Last year in round 1 they allow registration, and then they add on registration, a possibility for registration, basically application, only in mop-up. Telangana does not do a second registration before round 2 usually. Last year alone, because the cutoff was reduced before round 2, candidates with reduced cutoff and other candidates who were earlier eligible were also allowed to register. But don't expect that every year. It is always better to register before round 1. One-time registration. And second thing is, if you don't fill in choices in the first phase, then you will not be eligible for the next phase. So fill in choices to be eligible for the next phase. Even if you are not sure about a particular seat, you don't think you have to you're not interested in a particular seat in round 1, you are ranked 10,000, let us say, fill in an MD radio seat, the best seat out of the entire set of seats, which might possibly be taken at 1,000, 4,000, 5,000, so that you are on the safer side on being eligible for the second round. It is a little tricky, but yeah, that is how the rule is. Why is it tricky? Because after round 1, if you are allotted and you don't join, or if you are allotted, you join and resign, you are not eligible for Telangana management quota after that. Within management quota, if you are allotted and you join, don't join, or you are allotted, you join and resign, no other Telangana provision to attend Telangana management quota. That is the end of the counseling for management quota Telangana for you. Round 2, there is fresh choice filling. Web options is what it is called in Telangana, and fresh registration was allowed in 2022. Candidates who were earlier eligible were able to apply because fresh registration was allowed. Otherwise, it is usually in mop-up only. Who is not eligible? All India round 2 joint candidates obviously are not eligible. State round 1 joined and resigned, or state round 1 did not allotted and did not join, are eligible. Those candidates who were not allotted in state round 1 but fill choices will be eligible. And round 2, what happens to the seat? This is where it gets a little tricky. Round 2, if you are allotted a seat and you join, obviously you know that this is the final seat. You will not be able to, you will be part of the state round 2, and that is the final seat. If you are allotted a fresh seat in round 2 and you join the seat, if you resign the seat, even then you will not be eligible for All India counseling, because you are the part of the state round 2 joint list. You will not be eligible for Telangana round 2 further rounds, because you are part of the state round 2 joint list. And for resigning, you pay an amount of 50 lakhs. So be very clear about joining the Telangana round 2 seat, or rather even for filling in choices for Telangana round 2. Second, round 2 seat, fresh allotted. You are allotted a new seat in round 2. Basically, a new seat in the sense you have not been allotted a seat in round 1 or joined a seat. You have been allotted a first time seat in Telangana MQ in round 2, and you don't join the seat. Last year, you are out of the counseling. As far as last year rules go, you are out of the counseling, and you will not be eligible for any Telangana MQ later, but you might be eligible for other counselings. A round 1 seat allotted, joined. You joined your round 1 seat. You are entering into round 2 with a round 1 seat in hand. This is a very tricky scenario because All India round 2 is over by then. That is why you are eligible for Telangana state round 2. You are getting into Telangana state round 2 with a round 1 seat in hand. Where are your certificates? In your round 1 institute. Have you paid the fee? Yes, you have paid the fee for round 1 institute. So now you are attending round 2 with your certificates in the round 1 institute and filling in better choices than your round 1 institute. First scenario mentioned over here. Let us say you don't get a better choice. You will retain your round 1 same seat in round 2 too. We have seen from the state round 2 joint list, which was shared for All India. Why is it shared? Because those candidates are not eligible for All India mop-up or further rounds. So from the state, anybody who retained their round 1 seat, every candidate's name was part of the state round 2 joint list shared with All India mop-up. So if you retain your round 1 seat in Telangana state round 2, All India is out for you. Telangana MQ is also out for you, and you are considered retained. And we have seen that none of them have resigned their seats. At least from the data that we have, whoever has joined has not resigned their seats and their seats are not vacant, which means resignation is also not possible, possibly because of the 50 lakhs clause. So be very clear. Second scenario, this usually happens in many states because even in All India, if you retain the same seat in round 2, you are not eligible for resignation. That is your final seat. But the second scenario is a little tricky. You are allotted a seat in round 1, you join the seat and you opt for upgradation in round 2 in Telangana. You get a better seat in round 2 in Telangana. Your certificates are directly transferred to the round 2 institute. Will you have an option to resign? All India, you have an option to resign or not join, rather not resign, but not join that round 2 seat. Telangana, everybody who was in this scenario, who joined the round 1 seat, entered into Telangana and was allotted a round 2 seat. Everybody was part of the state round 2 joint list, which means they had no other option in All India mop-up. Even though it was an upgraded seat, they might not have had the option to resign. Last year, when candidates called up to Telangana authorities mentioned this, but we were not absolutely sure because it is not aligning with the process of All India or other PGMET regulations. But this is what has happened. Everybody has been who has got a better seat in R2 ended up with that seat, and that is the final seat because you can't attend All India mop-up or Telangana MQ as well. To resign that seat, anyways, it is a 50 lakh. So if you are entering Telangana round 2 with a round 1 seat, there is a possibility that you will end up your counseling with Telangana. So be very clear about that. It is always better to make right choices. If you are making right choices, no issues at all. For those who make right choices, know that it is going to be a better seat and you fill in only those seats, no issues. Mop-up round, fresh choice filling and no fresh registration. Anybody who joined, who was allotted in round 1 and round 2 of MQ are not eligible for mop-up round. And second, any candidates who were allotted or who joined an All India or a state round seat are also not eligible, including NTRHS round 2 joint candidates. Anybody who's joined a seat in round 2 of All India state round 2, they are not eligible for any mop-up. So that is how the rule is. All India mop-up allotted candidates were allotted in management quota mop-up. So if you are allotted in All India mop-up, even in state mop-up, they were eligible. That is how Telangana interprets the matrix of joining matrix or the eligibility matrix in PGMET regulations. Stray round, no fresh registration, rules were the same as mop-up. Non-joining in stray round, if you are allotted and you don't join in stray round, a 3-year debarment and 50 lakhs is mentioned as penalty for not joining being the final phase. After this, what happens? After the stray round, what happens is, in case there are seats left, there will be a final list of eligible candidates which are sent. Usually this is in the last 2 days, and the seats left will be very minimal number of seats, which is with very minimal clinicals. So those seats can be allotted at the institute level through only from the list share. What do we derive out of this entire thing? One, registration is very important. By round 1, if you had not registered, or there was a second chance at least last year in round 2, if you did not register, this you would not have been able to come here. No fresh registration after any of the rounds. So that is very clear. Second, if you are joining as Telangana round 1 seat and you don't resign within, or if you are allotted any seat in Telangana in any round, beyond round 2, you will not be able to move. Basically, round 1 to round 2 is upgradation. If you are allotted in round 1 or round 2, you will not be able to move to round 3 onwards. So these two be very clear. There is another $1 million question which always comes up as far as Telangana and Andhra is concerned. CQ to MQ. Round 1 CQ, can I move to round 1 MQ? Yes, round 1 CQ, if you are allotted, you can move to a bet. If you are allotted in both round 1 CQ and MQ, you can choose MQ. But what happens in Telangana is, because you did not join the allotted seat in round 1, you are not eligible for Telangana round 2. That was the rule. Clear? Between round 1 CQ and MQ, you can take a choice, but one of them, if you are allotted in both, one of them is out of question for the further rounds. You will not be eligible for the further rounds. Whichever one you choose is what you can go after later. Now the second one is, if you are allotted a seat in only in MQ in round 1, you can move on to CQ in round 2. You can resign the seat and join a CQ round 2 seat. But once you join a CQ round 2 seat, you cannot go on to MQ round 2, because last year the timelines were very neck to neck. On 7th of November or something, the CQ results joining ended, and only on the 8th of November MQ results were published, taking into account whoever was allotted in CQ. We'll still get back to you on this one, whether there was a common allotment. But after joining CQ round 2, you will not be able to resign anyways, because there is a 50 lakh penalty. So the only thing that we suggest is, when you are looking at these movements, be very clear, fill in choices right, and know that at any point in time, at round 2, if you are joining, that is your final seat, and in round 1, if you are not joining a seat, that ends the counseling for you. So that is how you need to understand this. As far as Telangana goes, timelines, out of this entire session, this will be the most critical if you're looking at round 2, or if you're looking at Telangana. Timelines are very, very short for choice filling. Round 2 choice filling of MQ, if we remember right, it started at around 7 p.m. on a particular day night and ended at 8 a.m. or something the next day. You're going for a movie, then coming back and waking up the next day morning at 11 a.m. You lose the choice filling itself if you did not look at the notifications. That is the kind of timeline they give, and then they ask you to join within a day, which means you have to be there in Telangana, travel immediately, go join within a day. These are the timelines beyond round 2 in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So be looking at all the notifications. In ZyNerd, we know that this is how it happens in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. We'll be updating it at 10 every night. Even if not, keep looking at, not in ZyNerd, that is fine, but keep looking at notifications in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana on a daily basis, especially for AP Telangana. You will have a very, very short timeline, and there are candidates who have missed it out, because obviously you would at least look at it once in a day, but not between 12 hours. In a 12 hours gap, you won't expect choice filling to end. It happens in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. So keep look, if you're following it up in further rounds beyond round 1, there will be a very, very short timeline. Keep looking at it. Fees for Telangana, we discussed the fee in details. MQ1 is at 22.3 to 24 lakhs, but the actual fee paid is 60% of this, which is 13.8 to 14.4 around. Application fee is rupees 6,300 for every candidate, irrespective of the whether you are from Telangana, outside Telangana, etc. But there is a verification fee if your MBBS, if you have done your MBBS from outside Telangana or AP. There is a verification fee of 5,000 for candidates who have done your MBBS in India outside AP or Telangana, and a fee of 7,000 for FMGs who have done your MBBS outside. All these are paid through online payments, and the payment of the fee has to be done at the institute. Basically, the tuition fee has to be done at the institute. But for downloading the allotment letter, before you go to the institute, you get the allotment letter, right? For downloading the allotment letter, you have to pay 49,600 for MQ1 and 69,600 for MQ2 or MQ3, and download the allotment letter. And this amount is non-refundable. Let us say you join in round 1 in Telangana, you can move on to All India round 2 seat. Let us say you get a deemed seat or a government seat in All India round 2, you can move on. But for joining the Telangana MQ round 1 seat, you would have paid 49,600 to 69,600. That will not be refunded. The tuition fee will be refunded at a later point in time. And penalty, you usually submit it as a DD, so that you may also get if you resign within the timelines. Usually the timelines are such that you will be able to move from management quota or CQ round 1 seat to All India round 2. That is always possible, and the time you will be allowed to resign. And once you join the All India round 2 seat, anyways, that is your final seat. So there's no concept of coming back to Telangana. You don't need to worry about it, because that is a decision that you have made. Penalty, at any point in time you resign after joining a round 2 seat, either before the counseling, during admissions, last day of admissions, or after that till the end of the 3rd year, you will pay a penalty of 50 lakhs. If it is after the start of the session, academic session, then you will pay 50 lakhs plus stipend. It is mentioned that service bond of 1 year is applicable, but we are not sure because some institutes candidates, we have connected with around 11 institute candidates. Yes, there are institutes which are apply a service bond of 1 year and then they say that it is 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, etc. There are some institutes which do not have a service bond. They don't implement a service bond, even though the prospectus mentions this. This is for management quota. Still, the prospectus mentions this. It does not mention an amount against it. The prospectus doesn't, and the bond notification in the prospectus does not. Stipend in private institutes. There are institutes. It is an issue as far as Telangana is concerned. You don't see a stipend, and you see a dash against that in ZyNerd. We will be updating it to possibly 0 for most of the institutes, because what happens is the institutes, some institutes don't provide a stipend at all. Some institutes provide a stipend, gets the stipend back from the candidates, so it is almost considered as nil. Especially this is a submission to all the candidates who are looking at stipend. In Karnataka, in Telangana, there is institutes which do not adhere to the stipend or give a very, very minimal stipend, 5,000 to 8,000. Your decisions will not, in such institutes, assume 0 stipend and go ahead and decide. For instance, Karnataka, some institutes give a 10,000 stipend and then get it back after 3 years. So always in such institutes where adherence is minimal and it is less than 10,000 or nil, assume 0 stipend to be basically that is the worst case, and then go ahead and take, because your decisions on management quota in private institutes should not ideally be based on, especially in category B, should not ideally be based on whether a 10,000, 5,000 stipend is offered or not. Accommodate for that and then go ahead is what we are saying. It is a good amount, but accommodate for that and then go ahead and take your decisions. It is always better than to assume that there will be some stipend in such institutes which do not care about adherence. So that is pretty much. Before we get into how to look at management quota, we look at the queries that have how to apply for management quota, which is the best private college. See, for looking at private institutes, you can look at the ZyNerd closing ranks. You will have a few institutes which are pretty good. Best private college, it depends on the department too. There might be multiple factors. Honestly, we do not have every factor evaluated, but from ZyNerd you will at least get a preference order of candidates. At least when you look at it, you will see that across different departments too, you will see some institutes which are on top, which we also look at. What is the fee structure? Fee structure, we have explained it. I think this query would have come in even before we started. So for people from Karnataka, the fee in Hyderabad would be 23-24 lakhs. Yeah, if you are a person from Karnataka and you are applying for, you will be, if you are a domicile of Karnataka, MBBS of Karnataka, you cannot apply for category A, which is the government quota seats. You will be eligible only for category B, which is the MQ1 set of seats, all India basis eligibility. The fee prescribed is 23 to 24 lakhs. What you will pay is the amount of 13.8 to 14.4 lakhs now, and you will submit an affidavit saying whatever be the increase beyond that, final fee beyond that till 23 lakhs or 24 lakhs, between this wherever it ends up, the balance fee for all 3 years I will make the payment at the end of the counseling. That is how it is. So as of now you will pay only 13.8 to 14.8 lakhs, 14.4 lakhs. One thing they missed mentioning, thank you for bringing this up, we are mentioning that the Telangana government institutes, private institutes ask for a 1 year bank guarantee, which means you have to give them a bank guarantee, deposit the amount for the next year in the bank and give them a bank guarantee. But usually a 1 month timeline is provided for this. Within 1 month after admissions, you have to provide a bank guarantee for an additional 1 year fee, which is 13.8 to 14.4 lakhs. Again, you will have to provide that. The amount will be in your bank account, but the bank will give a guarantee. You will not be able to take out that amount till the next year. This bank guarantee extends for the next year too. So that needs to be there. Fee structure is, as of now, you assume a fee structure of 13.8 to 14.4 lakhs for clinicals for MQ1 category, but knowing that it might change as well based on the final High Court order. This is the fee regulatory committee's final recommendation. Final review of the fee regulatory committee's recommendation. I am local in Telangana, did my MBBS in Andhra. So we have done a session earlier, the previous live session. We had explained everything in detail. If you are a local of Telangana and you did your MBBS from Andhra, you are local to Andhra. You can apply for Telangana ACAT seats. The question is whether you can apply for Telangana ACAT seats. Yes, you can apply for Telangana ACAT seats. Note that this is not relevant for this session. This is the previous session. From the previous session, you can apply for Telangana ACAT seats under government quota. You will be eligible for unreserved Telangana ACAT seats in Telangana. So that is a you will not be eligible because you are a non-local. You are basically an AU local or a OU local. So SPU local. You will not be considered for OU local seats. You will be considered only for the unreserved seats in Andhra Pradesh. You will be eligible for ACAT in unreserved seats in Telangana. You will be eligible for ACAT in Telangana. And that is pretty much. So we'll be looking at information on the portal. On the portal, we are currently looking at allotments, closing ranks, and we'll take you through how to look at the closing ranks for Telangana. As you can see, this portal is has complete information on all counselings across India, and it is also listed. All the counselings are listed counselling wise, because that is how you will approach each counselling. You will have to apply for each counselling separately. So if you're looking at Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, you will see two counselings because you will have to apply for each counselling separately. There are certain information which is shared saying that we will combine all the counselings across India to one. We have very specifically listed down each one separately, because when you are applying for Telangana, like you're interested in the session, you are there because you will be applying for Telangana management quota. You will have to know that I have to apply for management quota, and you will also have to know what these categories are. Only then you will be able to fill in choices, because or know which eligibility is, submit the documents, etc. This effort has to go in, and understanding has to be done, has to be there before the counselling starts. That is what helps you, and that is why candidates who have started in March with ZyNerd have an advantage, distinct advantage of going through each of these counselings. So as far as Telangana management quota goes, we already mentioned that management quota comes under MQ1, management quota is split as MQ1, MQ2 and MQ3. You can see all these three. Straight away, MQ1 is BCAT, and you know that. So in case you have a query, you can always go back over here and you see category B, MQ1 management quota. The candidates from all over India are eligible for management quota. That is very clearly listed down. So similarly, you will also have the definitions of Cat C, MQ3, etc. over here. I'm selecting an example of a candidate who is looking for management quota seats. Like let us say somebody is looking from Karnataka is looking for management quota seats. You don't see the fee here. We will be updating it to 23 lakhs or 13.8 to 14.4 lakhs, subject to with an asterisk mark mentioning what are the factors, etc. So let us look at the round wise information. So here we look at 2022 for better reference. You see that the closing ranks initially by default are based on Telangana management quota ranks. Basically, this person who has taken a CAT B seat, which is a MQ1 seat in Telangana in Apollo Institute of Medical Sciences, Hyderabad, radio diagnosis, was in the first round was rank 5. The top, the highest ranked candidate was rank 5 who has taken this seat, and in round 2 it was rank 9. But this is not relevant now because you don't have the merit list as of now for Telangana. So move on to all India rank. It will give you the list of the rank of candidates who have taken these seats. So here let us say your the cutoff rank for 2022 round 1 radio diagnosis Apollo seats under management quota 1 is 5694. In round 2 it was 7125, and the same candidate retained the seat in round 3. This candidate joined the seat in round 2 and retained the seat. Similarly, you will be able to see for every course. It is pretty simple. It is straightforward. If you're looking at general surgery, just type in general surgery. You will see the closing ranks for institutes. And there was a query on which institutes are good. You usually see that it depends on department, but generally there will be a possible intimation, possible information that you get based on the closing ranks. You see that these are the institutes usually which are allotted first. If you had followed, then you would see that. So those are the possible best institutes, and you will always see that the last few institutes, maybe a few institutes, those will give you a reference of average versus above average, below average, better, etc. But it is always better to connect with candidates to check on the modalities, whatever you want for that particular department. That will give you an entire idea of where each seats close. What we suggest is start with MQ1B category if you are looking at management quota seats, and then for each specialty you can look at where the closing ranks are. This will give you a complete idea. We will be also updating this for 2023. In case the fee or fee changes for Telangana management quota, we'll be updating that, and we will also be updating it for the trends for 2023 for you to refer to. You will also have, like, you have 2021 over here. If you select 2021, you will be able to check 2021 round 1 versus 2022 round 2, round 1. Similarly, 2023's information will be available for you to know the trends and preferences of this year. Category wise, in case you belong to Muslim minority category, select Muslim minority category over here. That will in certain states there will be very minimal seats, but that is an additional advantage that any Muslim minority candidate has. Institute wise, or you can also filter out institute wise and see what all what are the closing ranks of all the specialties in the institutes. If you're looking at clinicals, filter out on clinicals alone. So this is a pretty simple system, simple to use, but very, very comprehensive information that will help you. This is not only for Telangana, we have it for all the courses. Here currently fee is not available, therefore a filtering option is not available, and it is not relevant because all the fee structure for clinicals would be similar. So there is no relevance of the fee structure, but we'll be updating it. However, in certain states where it is a common one across, that may not be relevant. Stipend is anyways, we've asked you to consider it as nil in Telangana. Very rarely an institute offers a stipend. If it is above 10,000, we will mention that. Otherwise, they provide 10,000, get back 10,000, we will mention it as nil for this session. So thanks a lot. That is pretty much what we have as of now. I don't think there are any queries. In case there are any queries, if you're a government, if you're a subscriber of ZyNerd, you can always call us on the number, except for 4:30 to 7:30 on a daily basis. From morning 9 till 10, we support candidates on calls. Till the end of the counseling process, this will be the time you'll be able to connect with us and get your queries clarified. Non-domicile candidates, it is the same process. There is no difference between non-domicile, domicile in Telangana as far as except for that minor 40 to 50% advantage. All candidates, it's the same application form process. We have mentioned the application process. Go to the website, basic application details. It is a very simple process. If time permits, we will also run through the application demo at the time of Telangana counseling. Thanks a lot. I don't think there are any other queries, so we'll close it here. Thanks. Hope the session was useful. In case you have any feedback, also leave it in the comment section. We'll try to answer them. Thank you.